Coming to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona. Here we're in the high country, looking down 3,000 feet into the valley that the main ranch complex is in. Now you got to remember, this is 67,000 acres. It's a good-sized ranch. Now we'll tell you a little funny story about Duke and Louis Johnson after they'd first bought the 26 Bar Ranch.
Well, the guests at the ranch here had found a horny toad. I think it's a baby. And this is the line shack that Duke rode into years ago, and when he was up in the high country here to see what the high country looked like, and he was went into the cabin in a bad thunderstorm, and the cowboys were talking about the fact that we're in here, that the ranch had been sold. And one of the cowboys said, well, we understand that he's a Hollywood Yahoo S.O.B. And Duke, of course, didn't say anything. And the next day, when they all came down to meet the new owners, they introduced John Wayne, the Duke, and he stood up and said, well, when I was up at the line shack yesterday, you guys were talking about the Hollywood Yahoo S.O.B. that bought the ranch. That must be me. Everybody had a big laugh.
From that time on, this line shack was known as John Wayne's S.O.B. Line Shack.
This is one of the huge meadows in the high country, and the spring that feeds the water to the line shack is right out here in front of us. And this is elk country. Right over there in the high mountain country is where the ski area is at. That's called Sunrise.
There are two line shacks up here in the high country that the cowboys stay in when the cattle are up at in the high country, and they're about a mile apart. I was lucky enough to spend one night in this line shack, so I can say that I spent the night in John Wayne's S.O.B. Line Shack. The big wildfire that we had this summer came within a very short distance of the two line shacks, but they're still here.
This is when you need a four-wheel drive up in this kind of country here. Some of the holding pens in the high country here for the cattle, rail fences. This is the house that was built for the Duke on the 26 Bar Ranch. It's a little more modern than the main house. And Duke never got to use the house. He passed away before he ever got to use it.
But the people in this part of the country like to remember John Wayne as it was in the good old days.
Oh, carry me back to the lone prairie, where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free. And when I die, you can bury me 'neath the western sky on the lone prairie. Give me back my saddle, give me back my gun, give me back that bronco that I used to run. Let me spread my blanket by a peaceful stream, hear the cowboys singing by the campfire's gleam. Oh, carry me back to the lone prairie, where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free. And when I die, you can bury me 'neath the western sky on the lone prairie. Hi-yo.
This was brought to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona.